Let's talk about rewiring your confidence forever. So, if I asked you, how confident are you that you can bake a Queen Amand, how would you answer? You'd probably ask me to repeat myself since I clearly just made up words, but I swear, it's a real thing. Queen Amand. I know because I am a baker, so I get requests from my live-in boyfriend for certain items all of the time. And Queen Amand was one I'd never heard of, had to look it up. It's a real thing. And even if you have heard of it, my guess is your confidence level about being able to just bake one off the top of your head is a solid 0. And I would say that that's pretty accurate because I looked it up in my cookbook and it's got 6 pages dedicated to it. It's an intense pastry. This is a way we usually gauge our confidence, but it's not universally useful. That's what we're going to talk about today. So here's what usually happens. We have an idea. I want to be my own boss. I want to create my own career. I want to bake this unpronounceable pastry, right? And our brain goes straight to its default assessment tool, which I call the capability-incapability seesaw. So imagine a seesaw. It's like a scale on a little triangle. So our brain goes to work looking for evidence that we will be good or bad at this idea, and it starts loading the evidence onto each side of the scale. And more often than not, if this idea that we've come up with is new and scary, which all delicious goals are, there's a lot more evidence at the ready that you are incapable of doing what you want to do, right? That side of the scale gets tipped. So the confidence assessment is rendered. You do not have permission to be confident about this idea because you haven't done it before, you didn't study it in school, you don't have the social proof, you don't have enough evidence. You are more incapable than capable. And our brain renders this as kind of a factual assessment, right? It's a classic case of your brain using the past to predict the future, which it thinks is helpful and factual, and neither of those things are true. So I want to offer a more useful alternative for assessing your confidence. And in fact, we're not even going to assess it in this old way. I want to teach you how to create your own confidence. So think of your new scary idea, whether it's this baked good or your own self-designed career. Now, instead of going straight to the seesaw, I want you to imagine a cup and a spoon. The cup is already full of water, okay? And the spoon is full of sugar. Stay with me. This is going somewhere really good. The cup is full of water, which represents your potential. This is your ability to grow and learn and adapt, okay? The sugar is your capability, the things that you have existing experience and proven expertise in, right? That's the evidence your brain loves. I propose that from here on out, you only think of confidence in these 2 criteria: potential and capability. You don't bring incapability into the equation because it's not useful for deciding what goals to go after. If you have an idea, let's say you want to create a career of your own design, you have the option to only think about how confident can I be in this using these metrics. How much capability do I have to add to my already full potential? That's it. No incapability even gets looked at or assessed. No matter what your experience so far, you get to imagine starting out on this idea, on this goal, with a full cup, which means you get to believe that you can achieve anything that you want, starting with nothing but potential. Imagine what a difference that would make on what goals you go after, or how you deal with doubt, or how quickly you go to work solving problems. Whatever experience you have, whatever evidence that you have that you are going to be capable of doing something, that just means you get to supercharge the water with a little bit of sugar, give a little extra zest. It sweetens the deal, but it is not a deal breaker. See where we're going here? This rewire is how you're going to bypass this old default habit of questioning your confidence and start creating it instead on purpose. So notice when your brain goes to the seesaw and start training it to go to the cup instead. Refuse to think of your goals in these terms of how much can I do this versus how much can I not do this? And start thinking only in terms of measuring your inherent full potential and your deal sweetening capability. There is less in the way of what you want than you think. You could be one thought away from having all the confidence you need to go after anything that you want to do. And if this seems challenging, it's okay, because this is counter to the way that we normally think. Our brains love living in the land of evidence, so it's okay if this is a challenge. It's also exactly what I teach coaching clients in our one-on-one programs. So they can spend less time worrying about, can I do this thing I want? And they spend more time in committed action to what they want. So if that's what you want, book your free consult and we'll talk about creating your confidence and making your plan and getting you in committed action towards all these goals. And in the meantime, start with this simple rewire. You can have all the confidence you want. You're just a thought away from it.